Hey, it's Matt here, and I'm standing inside our great new listing in West Plano. One of the things that impressed me so much about this home is how well remodeled it was. The seller is a professional investor, owns a remodeling company in Dallas, and they just did a fantastic job on this property. And I got to thinking, so many of my clients, so many people reach out and ask about remodeling their home or preparing their home for sale. I wanted to do a deep dive interview about the remodeling process and what to think about as a consumer buying from a remodeler. So today I'm going to sit down with Eric Tcherno of EcoStar Remodeling and talk about this house and also the journey you want to go on when you start a remodeling project. So Eric, first I want to thank you for joining us today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
And thanks for putting together such a beautiful house for the market. We need more houses. You fixed this house. You bought it 4 or 5 months ago. Talk to us a little bit about the project and all the things you've done to change the house.
When I arrived originally to the house first, I was looking at very old house. I would say the 70s style. Wallpaper everywhere. Walls are not don't connect to anything. Very small layouts. The bathroom was very small, kitchen was very small, but that didn't matter at the time when I looked at the house. What matters for me is the square footage, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, because I know that I will change it completely.
Yeah, and that's what you did on this one.
Exactly.
So, talk to us about some of the changes you made here.
So first thing, we focused on open up the area. Create an open layout. Okay, it means of breaking the walls, open up the bathroom, open up the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's what people are looking for today. Definitely creates a much more modern look.
Same flooring throughout, same color scheme. And you chose a really light, bright colors, which I think is a trend that's really starting to pick up here in North Texas. So if a person is already at home, or maybe they bought one just like you and they want to remodel it, what are some things they should be thinking about when they start a remodeling project?
Remodeling, that kind of remodeling can be very complicated if you don't have any experience.
Yes.
I will see a lot of people having mistakes when they use multiply people to multiply contractors, trying to mix it up and trying to save the cost from there and trying to save the cost from there. And then it creates one big mess. I would say if you looking at a house that you want to remodel, that you want to flip completely, I would always focus on the big stuff like the kitchen, like the bathrooms. As I said before, cosmetics are kind of easier. It's more on the framing part and the open up the layouts and electrical and plumbing when it gets complicated. First of all, recommend to use some kind of a general contractor that you can trust. And not try to be the contractor. Because when people, from my experience, when people are trying to do that, that's where they can really get complicated for them and they ended up losing money and not having the good experience from that.
For sure.
Yeah, and you can have a good experience. You just have to work with the right people.
Right. You get people that come to you who are starting a project, or maybe it's a new homeowner and they don't want to take on everything, but they want to do some updates. What do smart consumers do before they reach out to you for their project?
I would say that they will first of all, they would understand what is the look that they're trying to get. Because I could meet with some clients that they know that they want to remodel the house or they want to remodel the kitchen, but they have no clue what they really want. So in that stage, it will be more complicated to understand what will satisfy them, because everyone has their different view and different expectations. So I would say the best way to approach it, and that's the best for me as well, first of all, that the client will kind of shop around first to understand what is the look they're trying to get, materials, go to some stores, go to some suppliers, understand what's going on the market.
Yeah, I guess it's the same when you're buying a house. People that know what they want do a lot better than people that are not sure what they want. So maybe like making a mood board, or the people that have been daydreaming on Instagram or Pinterest, print it out and bring it to you.
Exactly.
And then I'm assuming having a budget is going to really, beforehand, is really going to help.
A budget helps a lot. A budget helps a lot because materials can get really expensive. You can have a low end, medium end, and you can have very high end. And all of them will be completely different prices.
Yeah.
So budget, it is important for kind of the first meeting to understand. And that's why how I work with the clients is at the first meeting, we have some kind of expectations of what is the budget that they can work with. Because if they're not in the budget, I would like to tell them straightforward, it's not going to work and it's okay. But there are different options of what you can do within this budget.
Yeah, that makes sense. So a person, let's talk about budget. So let's say a lot of people see maybe older bathrooms and they want to make them modern. Like, how should a person think about a budget for a bathroom, for example?
I would say that a bathroom old bathrooms, usually they will have some kind of soffits, weird soffits. It will feel like some kind of a cave bathroom. Everything will be very closed. I would say that a bathroom can split into two different ways. So one way is just the cosmetic of it, which is replacing some tile, replacing some fixtures, replacing the colors, painting the walls. There will be another project that will be actually removing the walls, expanding the bathroom, raising ceilings, kind of create a much nicer look, more space, and then you have much more room to play with the style that you want. If it's a freestanding tub, if it's a regular tub, if it's a freestanding, it's a standing shower, benches, a lot of different fixtures that people are using today.
Yeah. So if the person has that limited budget for their bathroom, what's the starting point that they need to think about?
I would say a limited budget for a bathroom will start anywhere from the $16,000 for an average one and can go to around $22,000 to $25,000.
Okay.
And it really depends on the materials. A bigger size of a bathroom today will run $25,000 and more, which in that part will be already maybe relocations and moving some layouts or expanding some walls or raising ceilings. Those are become a little bit more complicated.
That kind of project is radically changing the space versus just cleaning it up a little bit or freshening it up. And now you're talking about the master bathroom too, correct?
Yes.
Now, the other thing, other people think, like you mentioned, bathrooms, other people think about kitchens. There's a whole universe of possibilities, but if they have a baby budget or starter budget, where do they start there on a kitchen, and what could they go up to on the high end?
A kitchen remodel can go really in a lot of different ways. You can do a lot of things in the kitchen. If it's from just replacing countertops or just replacing backsplash, or even keeping the same cabinets and refinish the cabinets to change the colors. It really depends on obviously on the budget. The ideal way to do that is to gut everything and to put new cabinets, to put new countertops, new flooring, recessed lighting and plumbing work. That really gonna be the ideal remodel for the kitchen.
Yeah, and that's what you did in this house here. You completely redid
Yes.
it. I know a lot of people, when they go to remodel a house, buyers are almost tricked because they open up the cabinets and see that they were just painted on the front and they're really 40 years old.
Cheaply painted, yes.
Yeah, so I think that makes a difference in the feel, and maybe if a person's selling it and wants to make it look good, that's the approach. If they want to make it their forever home, and then let's go big on the kitchen.
True.
And really do quality.
A lot of people looking for that remodel houses, but actually in houses that not remodel, it's even better.
Yeah.
To buy, because you know that there was not a flip in this house. Nobody tried to go cheap. Nobody tried to cut corners. So you as a new homeowner, you have this house and maybe you bought it on a little bit cheaper what it would cost to remodel that completely. But you can be 100% sure that nobody really cut corners over here before.
Yeah, that's such a great point. And I think about this when I'm with buyers and we're in a home that is remodeled, or some people will call it a flipped home. I was in the Army and there was an expression we had called putting lipstick on a pig, meaning we might make something look really good to get it approved by the command, but it wasn't really good. So I think in the marketplace, buyers are going to definitely find flippers, investors who did that approach, and when they start to dig or get into the inspection, they're going to be disappointed.
Yeah, or even after the inspections, years down the road, from my experience, because I've been fixing those kind of problems today with clients, I could see that where they cut corners on the plumbing, cut corners on the electrical. At least when you as a new homeowner, when you're buying a house that needs to be remodeled, at least you can look at what they do. You can supervise. You can have a permit. You can have an inspector that come in and look at stuff. So I feel that it just gives you more confidence.
Yeah, I think that's really great advice for buyers right now.
Yeah.
And candidly, I wish more of my buyers would take that advice, because I think they would find more success in the marketplace by having a willingness to call somebody like you and then update their house completely how they want it.
I feel as well that a lot of people kind of scared to or have a lot of concerns to buy a house that they need to remodel by themselves because they hear a lot of horror stories.
Yeah.
this contractor went away with the money, this guy didn't do a good job or something, you know, things that are happens out there.
Right.
It makes my job harder, I know that.
Yeah, people hear these stories and then they work with a professional and are pleasantly surprised, which is good.
Exactly. The whole idea as a new homeowner to buying a new house, all the horror stories and what they hear out there, it's really coming from a homeowner that try to save money. Yeah. The things that he's trying to save money and things that this flip, if it should cost them $100,000, he will be able maybe to do it for $60,000. That's where the problem starts.
Yeah.
And that's where I said it's very important to hire a general contractor that you can trust to take care of everything. Don't try to be the contractor if you're not.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. People are good at usually their job and think they can do somebody else's really well is sometimes a bit naive.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a seller or a prospective seller who is in their house and they know that it's getting a little bit dated, but they do have a limited budget. What's one thing they could do to just change the whole feel of the house and make it feel a little fresher, a little newer?
So usually I would call it the more efficient projects would be the floors and painting. Because that would be, as far as costs compared to bathroom remodel or kitchen remodel, will be way lower. So definitely those two, if it's the floor, if it's the painting, will definitely change the atmosphere in the house.
Yeah, for sure.
It's one thing. And then if you can go to your kitchen, for example, if you have some budget to your kitchen, countertop and backsplash changes a lot. Fixtures changing a lot, even if it's the handle of the cabinets, small details that could definitely change the whole atmosphere of the house.
That's a great point. And anybody who shopped for a house with me knows I'm a flooring snob. So when I see a great floor, my eyes light up. I think other buyers are seeing the same thing. Let's talk about flooring, because a lot of people have different perceptions around that. And there's a whole universe of options. Where could somebody start to get a good product? Like what kind of product would that be? Maybe entry level, still looks good. And then as their budget grows, what could they do on the high end for flooring?
So I would always recommend with clients that I'm working with is first of all, if are there any kids at home? Are there any pads at home? Stuff that will definitely will affect their decision. Now, as far as the flooring, the most efficient floors that you can go with today obviously will be carpet, but nobody wants to do really carpet, right? So I'm putting this on the side. I would say the best flooring to work with today will be vinyl floor, the luxury vinyl floors, and laminate floors.
Okay.
The benefit with the luxury vinyl floors, they are 100% waterproof. 100% waterproof, they're easy to install. Most of them, the good ones, are coming with a lifetime warranty.
Oh, nice.
So you have to look for it though. If you work with the laminate floors, by the end of the day, it's a pressed wood and there is a sticker that basically what it looks like wood. Those are not 100% waterproof. So if you have any leaks, or if you have kids at home that can spill water, you can kind of expect for some damages.
Okay, so less durability on the laminate.
Exactly.
And then they can step up to an engineered hardwood?
Yes, so if you're trying to get the wood look, I would stay at the engineered hardwood floor. You have different type of thicknesses with engineered wood floor. That's what you want to look at when you're buying an engineered wood floor. The difference on the thickness by the end of the day is how many times you can refinish the floors.
Yeah.
That's the difference. So obviously as more expensive as you go, as more quality you can get.
Yeah.
But you can get to the engineered wood floor with pretty reasonable prices, not much higher than vinyl floor.
Okay. Wood is the next step up?
Wood is the next step up.
And wood can go from here to like the stratosphere in terms of price.
Exactly. Wood, there is a huge market for the wood because it really depends on how they make the cut for the wood. If you have a tree, what direction is the cut, how much waste is gonna be from the tree in order to make the wood. That's where the prices are changing.
Okay.
What type of wood? If it's ipe, if it's redwood, if it's bamboo, there's many out there.
Yeah.
And it just will change the difference.
It's a beautiful product, but maybe not for those with a faint of heart or limited budget.
Exactly. If it would be me, if I would do it to myself, I would definitely go with the engineered wood floor than a real wood.
Why is that?
I would say it's more efficient.
Okay.
It's more efficient on the pricing. It will give you the same look. And by the end of the day, you would do with engineered wood whatever you can do with the regular wood floor, which is refinishing that.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. It's
Yeah.
easy to have a perception in your head that's going to cost you as a homeowner or a home buyer a lot of money when you're thinking about that.
Sure.
So let's shift gears and talk about mistakes people make when they are doing a project. I'm sure you've seen it. You've done a lot of projects. What are the mistakes people make when they're doing this?
First of all, is not hiring the right person. Most of the mistakes are coming when we're talking about a project with multiple trades, okay, with few trades. So if it's floor painting, kitchen, or floor, windows, bathroom, when you have few trades, that's where all the problem starts if you don't hire one general contractor to just take care of everything.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's much easier to deal with the person that everything comes under the same umbrella, and you don't need to deal with that person, and that contractor don't want to take responsibility on his job, and this guy having a problem with that guy. It just creates drama and way more headache to the homeowner.
Okay.
If I would be the homeowner, I would first of all hire someone as a general contractor to take care of everything. So I would need to go into the smallest details because I have no clue.
Right.
Okay, I have no clue. That's why I have my CPA or real estate agent, or everybody know what they do.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what they do, and this is how it should stay. I very much appreciate the people that trying to do things by themselves. But most of the mistake I will see over there when they don't get the right material, when they don't get the right people to work with, or they don't get the right permits. A lot of times people would have mistakes with the stages of what needs to be done. For example, I won't do my cabinets before I do the floors. I won't install my cabinet before I install my floors. I won't install the cabinets and then do the painting. So it all has to come on stages to make sure kind of to save you damages from different projects.
Yeah, and damages means higher cost.
Exactly.
Or cost overruns.
Stress, higher costs, and
yeah. Now, people are working with you, you're doing a great job managing it, but sometimes people still get in their own way and mess things up. A hypothesis I have, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, is that people change their mind a lot in the process. Is that, do you see that happening, or maybe not so much?
People are changing their mind during the process, which is I have no problem with, is because by the end of the day, I mean, as the person I'm work for, he's gonna live there. He's gonna live there. He knows what's good for him, and I respect his decisions. It's not from, like, it's not, the house is not for myself. What I do in order to kind of cut this process and to make sure they're more solid in their ideas is I work with 3D designs.
Okay.
I always like to work with 3D design before I'm starting to do any kind of a project. So if it's a kitchen, if we need to remove some walls, open up layouts, changing layout, having an island instead, those are things that for me it's very easy to visualize because I'm doing it daily for many years. But people that will kind of tackling that on the first time, it will be very hard to visualize. And those are the people that are actually changing their minds a lot.
And changing their cost, I would think, too.
Exactly, exactly. So to work with the design and have a 3D design image of what you want to have, pick the materials before you're getting in the project, put them into the 3D design, see the image, visualize your kitchen before you're getting into the project.
That's
basically
smart.
cuts a lot of time, and it's just make it easier, and you don't have any changes on the prices as well.
Yeah.
Because the price is basically whatever you see on the picture.
Right. You're relatively new in the market here, but tell us a little about your story, because you've been in the remodeling business for a while.
Yes, for about 8 years.
Okay.
I've been doing remodeling. I'm originally born and raised in Israel. I moved here at the age of 22 and started right away with remodeling. Started to kind of be a runner of a company that does construction, home improvement projects. This is how I learned everything, got the experience. We said the best way to get experience is actually experience that.
Yeah,
okay, not to study with not to be at school. We really study that. We really get the experience from the actual project. So we see mistakes, we feel them, we understand what happened, we're communicating with the clients at a very early stages of that work. So it gives us way more experience.
Yeah.
So today, after a couple of years, that I would be doing a project, I would say, oh, this happened to me there, and that happened to me over there, and this was a mistake. I will never do it again.
And your company, EcoStar, you started in California.
Yes.
And then you guys recently opened in Texas.
Right.
And it sounds like you're doing a lot of projects now in Texas. If a person wants to learn about doing a project with you, what's the best way to get a hold of you and your team?
Well, we have a website of our company, EcoStar Remodeling and Construction. We're putting signs almost on every project that we will do. We'll get a lot of referrals, a lot of phone calls from signs that we do. We get a lot of referrals to actually from homeowners. So we have a lot of affiliators that we're working with that we get a lot of clients from there.
Pretty easy to get a hold of you then.
Yeah.
Yeah, EcoStar Remodeling.
EcoStar Remodeling.
Thank you so much for taking the time out today.
Of course.
Excited for the buyers who are going to be soon living in this house, and excited to see your future projects you put together and bring on the market.
Sure, thank you, Matt.
I want to thank you for watching today's video. Hope you enjoyed my interview with Eric. Eric's a great guy. I really enjoy working with him and his team. If you have questions about remodeling, I definitely encourage you to reach out. I will put all of his contact information below. If you have questions about the real estate journey in general, reach out. I love serving you. Love having those one-on-one conversations. In the meantime, stay safe and have fun. Thanks for watching today's video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe below. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And in the meantime, make sure to check out some of our other videos featured on our channel.